Hi there everybody, guys and girls, it's Rob here, aka The Jester from videogamesblogger.com, and I was going to kick this off with one of those really cheesy, wanna play a game kind of lines, but guess what? No, we're going to jump into Saw 2. I mean, this is fantastic. I just got the call on this one saying, look, people need some help. The puzzles are fiendishly evil, and of course, also disgusting at the same time, and let's face it, not many of the guys on the site have got the stomach for this one, so it's all up to me. A huge fan of the movie series, and this is definitely going to be a pile of bloody fun. Now, the first level kicks off, as you'll note, with a, well, look, this one is going to hurt. And hey, pretty simple puzzle. You're going to follow along. A lot of the puzzles are more or less mini games, and this is exactly the same. Now, as you're pressing your controller, you'll see that the Y button's popping up for me. It depends on what you'll get. Sometimes you'll get a different one. Keep pushing. Now, don't go for like individual flicks. At first I thought it was like an individual one for each TV screen. No, if it says hammer Y, just hammer the Y button, keep hammering it, don't stop in between, and then when it says push, just keep pushing and you'll feel it. Oh, pop. Oh man, that had to hurt. Oh, we're gonna go for it again. Dude, you are so screwed. All of this, I mean, come on. Okay. Oh, nasty. Nasty stuff. Like living through a movie yourself, guys. It's going to be crazy fun. I'm going to take you through, help you out with a bunch of the puzzles, of course. And, hey, anyone want to play a game? I mean, I had to try, and I thought, no, that's just way too cheesy. Any which way, there's Jigsaw, the man himself, and we're gonna get into it. It seems like a pretty cool game. So I've had a few hours with it at the moment. Been sat down, had a good little go. Then of course we go back, start again, do the whole thing, as you do, so we know where we're going and what's happening. And at current, this is myself playing through for the first time though. As we started recording, you're going to go through and we're going to pick up, we're going to learn a few things, although it doesn't actually teach you very much. You only learn that you can interact with objects and that you can heal yourself. That's about it. Everything after that is now is the time to take a hard look at yourself. So if you're like myself, of course, you're going to have that sore attitude of, well, shouldn't have done it, and then you wouldn't have ended up there in the first place kind of thing. And then you get to thinking, well, if I was in that situation, I would be able to. Well, now let's put that to the test, of course. Here's me trying to unlock and just not looking around. No, I try to get cheeky. I thought, you know what? I'm just a puzzling fiend. I'll put this thing together. Don't worry. I can do it. Yeah, just as the man. No. Jigsaw is, people. Jigsaw is. And of course, he set these fiendishly hard puzzles for you. And it doesn't stop at all. I mean, they start from the beginning. See, I'm getting the right idea, just not too sure. Take a look at yourself. Look around. Let's go have a look around. Because fiddling with it on our own... am I meant to match them up to these? No, you see, it was actually a lot more true to what he said. You need to look at yourself. We'll go over to the mirror in a second, guys. Take a look at your reflection, and that will show you the image that you need to recreate. And to unlock the door, the little arrow needs to be facing the red bit on the left-hand side there. So that's pretty easy once you get to it. Of course, I'll be taking a look around the game as well, picking up on a few of the collectibles. There's quite a few that I've noticed as we've been going around. There's audio tapes. You can pick up some of those. There's about 20 of those to be found. Really cool stuff. For those of you out there that do enjoy that kind of thing, trying to find all the little bits and nooks and crannies. There's case files, and a lot of them I have been reading, and they refer to, like actual in-movie events and stuff like that. So that's really cool, having a look through those. And you've got the audio tapes, you've got case files. We're going to be picking up on as many of those as possible. And then there's also, of course, the Billy puppets. And there's 7 of those located throughout the game, and each one of those is hidden behind an even harder puzzle. Now, you don't have to pick them up. They're not essential to the game itself. It does tell you that much. But, hey, I mean, who doesn't want them? There's 7 of them. I mean, I'm sure we can grab them. I've got 2 so far, and yeah, I only haven't played through for a few. Like I say, I have a few hours with it. Going through, we picked up about 7 case files so far and stuff like that. There's 50 of those, and there's some audio tapes lying around. I've also got 4 pieces of a big 25-piece jigsaw that we're going to have to put together. So we're going to pick up on as many of those as possible. Don't worry guys, I'll put those up and they'll be in a separate guide as well, so you'll be able to go pick those out if you have had a go. A lot of achievements to be had. I mean, you do get quite a few thrown at you that seem more or less like, you know, your regular cheap and easy ones like, hi, welcome to level 1, you just got an achievement. But you know, there's quite a few good ones. There's also quite a few for beating personal times, and yeah, there's also there's secret achievements. There's one called compassion. Saved a person that you didn't need to, so you don't actually have to save certain people. I actually found out afterwards that I'd managed to save a rapist. I wasn't best impressed with myself, and so I restarted my game and I let him explode. That's maybe an insight into my mind. I'm not too sure. Any which way, still having a bit of grief with the puzzle here, trying to figure it out. I'm like, come on, that matches up. I'm sure it matches up, but then I just had the outside ring wrong. So anyhow, we'll go through that, and we'll be going through the whole of it, guys. Like I say, a big fan of the series myself, so yeah, let's get to it. Let's get involved and have some fun with it. A lot of puzzles, a lot of them are just that though. There's not much combat, but when it does come down to combat's more or less a case of timing. It's also a mini game in itself, which is really cool, because you'll go through, and as someone comes to attack you, you go through like a mini game of button pressings. You'll be given a command, it'll come up on screen. This also happens a lot with doors. You'll note that you cannot actually just open some doors. There will be a booby trap behind them, and you're going to have to be quick on the trigger unless you want to die. I don't like to moan in the beginning of a game. Now we're going to be introduced to light, which gets taken away from us very quickly, but we'll figure out why that happens later on. Yeah, the combat's really cool. For the game, I mean, I'm not going to, you know, like I say, I don't like to complain too much. The only big gripe that I have had is that after you accidentally run into a shotgun, you know, I mean, these things just happen to be behind doors, and if you weren't switched on enough, you may just peek through a keyhole and be seeing the double barrel. But it's going to open up, pop your head off, and hey presto, you've got to sit through the most torturous load screen I have ever seen. I mean, this thing takes forever. But any which way, guys, if I am sounding a little bit stuffy, of course, people, that's because unfortunately I have been ill once again. I mean, the weather's just changing up bad, isn't it? And yeah, I ended up with a bad cold, but anyhow, don't worry about that. That's beside the point. We're going to walk through here, going to have a look at some of the little experiments that he's left lying around for us to play with before we move on. And you're going to find that the actual number itself is written on that board. You can see, do you understand, Campbell? They are. It's 573. Simple. If you guys wanted to get through the door and if you were looking for the answer, it's glow-in-the-dark paint. You leave your light on it for long enough and then switch it off and it glows very brightly. But I'm busy having a mooch around. I want to see. Now, a lot of items are, you know, those that are interactive will kind of shimmer. There's not very many interactive items, so don't go thinking that you're going to have to search for too much. If anything is there for you to pick up, it'll kind of just pop up that you can press a button. I found that a few times though, you kind of miss out. You know, you'll walk past and it'll flash on screen. It's like, oh, where'd that come from? And it was actually like the door that was a mile away, so you spend forever looking at the floor thinking that there was something there. But hey, that's just gripes aside. Apart from that, people, this is an awesome little puzzler. But it is a puzzler. Don't be expecting too much action or anything like that. But as for the rest of it, people, it's bloody, it's gory, it's sore, and we're in the middle of it. I mean, hey, if you're like me, you always yapped that you could, and of course now is our chance to prove our mettle. So we're going to get stuck into it, guys. Have an awesome, crazy time with Saw 2, Flesh and Blood. Grand stuff. I'm really loving it. Really moody, and I'm so tempted to like just jump in and just scream boo at some points, because I'm sure we could scare the daylights out of a million people watching this right now. So I'm going to let you guys to it. We're going to get through the door, and that's going to take us on to the next part of the level, guys. The videos are pretty long, but we do get through quite a few puzzles in them, so keep watching, and of course I'll be adding a few hints and tips for you guys as we go through. So enjoy, people. I will see you later on. In fact, I'll join you at the end of the video. How's that? For now, just enjoy the gameplay. We'll get through this, and don't walk on the glass too quickly. It'll really hurt your feet.